Oh man, YouTube. YouTube. Yeah. I think that's what I'm just going to call this video. YouTube, period. Yeah, period. Because this is going to be it. If you want to know what I and all of your other favorite creators are going through, here's something I just got hit with. When I try to monetize a video, they no longer trust me to do it correctly, even though I do my best to make my videos fit their backwards, 1950s, FCC TV standards, movie Hays Office standards. They still don't trust me. And I just want to show you this just to let you know this is the stuff we go through. So they no longer just accept my rating for monetization. They no longer consider that to be accurate. Why? Well, it's because of these two videos. So, if you haven't seen them, the first one... crap. Feel like... Sorry. The first one is Immunity Denied, and this is about qualified immunity. It's a story about cops who pulled over a black guy for no reason, and even though he was completely compliant, they tased him and pepper sprayed him and did all sorts of mean, nasty, ugly things. And I was saying that the great thing about this story was that not only did the courts deny qualified immunity for the cops, they also did it for the police department and the city. And that was a great thing. Because they also went into how the police training basically encouraged them to be abusive like that. So that was Immunity Denied. The other one is COVID Lockdowns, Costs Without Benefits. And this is looking at the statistics around the current COVID pandemic that we're still in. And there are some things that are working. Masks have a good effect. They work. Social distancing has an effect. It works. It's not perfect. Ain't nothing perfect, but they have a positive effect. The lockdowns really don't. According to this set of statistics, at least, people are always cherry picking. Oh, well, look at this one place versus this other place where they locked down and where they didn't. Well, you can always do that, but what is it overall? And when you look at that, and especially when you look at the timing of it, when the stats changed versus when the lockdown was put in or lifted or whatever, it doesn't really seem to correlate. There doesn't really seem to be anything where, oh, well, we implemented the lockdown and things got better. We took down, it either gets ahead of it, like things start getting better first and then they lock down or whatever. It just doesn't match. So that's what the second one's about. And it's just going over the statistics. I can't think of anything that could possibly be wrong with either of these videos. And yet, as you can see, they were manually reviewed as being for limited monetization. Why? Well, let me kind of show you. We have all these different things we can tell YouTube about our video when it's considered for monetization. And so we have this list of things that we can check, and some of them affect it and some of them don't. And so what they're saying is that I got this wrong. This one's for Immunity Denied. Remember, this is about the qualified immunity being denied to the cops and the city. So I said, over there on the left side, I said references to a marginalized group that are made in a non-hurtful manner as part of a public debate or comedic context. Watch the video, and I think you'll find I've been completely accurate about that. That is exactly what it is. But the reviewer said hate or discrimination towards a protected group based on race, age, or other natural characteristics. Where? Where did I do any of that in that video? Watch that video and see if you can see where I did any of that. So that's crazy. Their reviewer got it wrong. That's all there is to it. The reviewer just got it wrong. People get it wrong sometimes. That's what happens. Now for the other one, the COVID one, it says analysis of, this is the one I chose, analysis of or opinion around serious and topical events not described above, such as COVID-19, which is exactly what the video was about. Yes. It actually says COVID-19 there. But the reviewer disagreed. Now remember, this was just about the statistics and showing that the lockdowns didn't really seem to have an effect one way or the other. They said that this was discussion of modern acts of terror. Events resulting in the catastrophic loss of human life or controversial social issues. What? No, this is about the efficacy of the COVID-19 lockdowns. And it's just a statistical analysis. It's not about it. Watch the video. I challenge people. Watch these videos. If you think the reviewer got it right and I got it wrong, please say so in the comments and say why. But I can't think of any way either of these reviewers got it right. So it's based on those two reviews. Now, at the top, and this is, let me back up a second, because this is up at the top where it says your accuracy on limited videos looks low. Because of two of your recent videos, of those two, you correctly rated 0%. All right. So then it says, what about the rest of my videos? There's a question mark. You click on that question mark and you rated other videos correctly, but your accurately mostly depends on how well you identify videos that should get limited ads. So, because two of their reviewers made mistakes and flagged videos for limited monetization that shouldn't have been, that means that my accuracy is low because they're assuming that their reviewers have a 100% accuracy rate. They should know not to do that. This is Google. They know how Bayesian probability works. You never assume anything is 100%. I mean, if you look at it, let me show you this. How many videos are we talking about? Since this program came in place where we got to rate all that, there have been 50 videos down to the bottom where it says 1 through 10 out of 50. 50 videos where I've been able to do it. According to them, I've been right 48 out of 50 times. That's a 96% success rate. That should be pretty good. But as you can see, was back here, it only depends on how well you identify videos that should get limited ads, not on the ones that don't. Even if, because for a lot of these, they initially flagged them and I appealed and the person said, oh no, you're right, that should be full monetization. Those don't count. Why? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I mean, I think I've shown completely to anyone who's watched those viewers that your reviewers messed up. My rating should be 100%. Your guys messed up. Okay. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. But even if you consider that, that still should be 96%. This is now how it works. But let's think about this. This is the part that really gets me. Like I said, I and so many other creators, we're doing our best to try and figure out, with all of the completely vague criteria that you're giving us, and I mean just absolutely no help whatsoever when we reach out to you and try to figure out, say, how do we make our videos compliant with what you say your advertisers want, when advertisers don't seem to have any problem advertising on basic cable, which does a lot worse. You know, it's crazy. We're trying to make it comply. Well, okay, so here's a situation where I've tried to make every single video in compliance with what you want. Right? Two of your reviewers made mistakes, and I'm getting punished that because those are the only two you're looking at. Now, what incentive does that do? Right? That means that I now have the incentive, and all other creators who monetize through YouTube now have the incentive to deliberately make videos that violate the criteria so that we can correctly mark them. So now I'm like incentivized to make a hate video and then mark it as hate so that you can say, oh yes, that's not, you did that correctly. And since that's not monetized, then yes, that counts towards your, it counts if I deliberately make a video that violates it and say so. And it doesn't count if I comply. That's screwed up incentives, YouTube. It's screwed up incentives. It is way improper Bayesian probability, and you should know that. You're freaking Google, for crying out loud. I mean, and it's just crazy because, I mean, not only are we, the creators, getting shafted, you're kind of shafting yourself too. I mean, 50% of the monetization dollars goes to Google, right? So, hey, how long has YouTube been operating in the red? How long is Google going to keep tolerating that? Just saying, okay, here's this thing that we're, money going down a sinkhole. How long is Alphabet Incorporated going to put up with that? Alphabet Incorporated may be going, here, look, Google. You got this thing, this YouTube. It's an immensely popular website. You should be making all sorts of money with it, and you aren't. What's going on? I don't know. I think people are talking about like the exodus from YouTube going to other sites. I think it's just as likely that this might happen from within, because at some point, this has to be about the bottom line, about making money. That's the primary goal of all of this. Running a business, operating a corporation, it's about making money. And yes, I get that Google has other goals, but I mean, even if you're a complete nonprofit charity, you still can't operate in the red for too long before you stop existing. So this has gotten really crazy. You're just incentivizing us to make videos that deliberately violate the standards so we can mark them as such and get our accuracy up. You're denying both us and you ad dollars, and this is why I really appreciate the supporters on Patreon and Subscribestar. You can get those links at donate.bogosity.tv. They'll be below as well, but I really appreciate the supporters. I'm really looking for a good way to do that through cryptocurrency. I've been looking at a couple of like Float and a couple others, and no one seems to have gotten it right yet. I really want someone to get it right, where it is a full Patreon-like, supporter website that you can pay for through cryptocurrency. There isn't one yet, but you can donate as much cryptocurrency as you want, even pennies. That helps, especially on a video with limited monetization. You give me 5 cents, and I'm probably ahead on the deal on those. So, please go to donate.bogosity.tv, give whatever you can, and do this to all of your favorite supporters as well. Because the ones that monetize are having to put up with this crap. The ones who don't monetize depend on their viewers even more for support. It is crazy. It is totally crazy that for something like, I think, a year now, money from active monetization has been greater than money from passive monetization on YouTube. That's ridiculous. And everything else, I always say the passive monetization is greater because users don't have to do anything. They have to sit through an ad or whatever. But the active monetization, the users actively coming through and doing that is so much greater. And I know Patreon might be going that way too, because I've been losing a lot of people on Patreon. Most of them have just gone over to Subscribestar, but they keep saying in that little exit survey that it's not me, that they don't like how Patreon's doing things. And, we talked about Sargon of Akkad a few years ago. I think one of them mentioned David Silverman. Did they do something to David Silverman? I don't know, but yeah, this is what we go through, and I just had to kind of get that off my chest. So thank you so much for watching. As always, hit like, subscribe, and the bell. If you don't hit that bell, you might not get notified. I noticed that happening with a couple of others. I had to do that with Eric July's videos because I wasn't getting them, and now I am. So, it is just crazy. It's like you won't see any videos from them on the subscription page. You go out and look at their channel directly, and then you go back to the subscription page and reload, and then they come back. That's ridiculous. YouTube, please show all our subscriptions. We're subscribed to these channels for a reason. We want to see them. So remember to hit that bell. Please go to donate.bogosity.tv. Give whatever you can. And also check out the alternatives. BitChute, I don't know what's going on with BitChute. They haven't been synchronizing my videos, and I reached out to their customer support, and they basically responded by begging for money. No. Library is pretty good. LBRY, it is a pain to use, but it pretty much works. BitTube.tv, it's good. They're still going through a lot of development, though. I don't know if they're quite ready for primetime They're really busy now with a hard fork that's coming in a few days, but you can, those are a couple of places where you don't have to put up with ads. Just watch the videos and I automatically get cryptocurrency in. And so can you. You can get, for just watching, LBRY has some other ways you can make little bits of cryptos on your own. So check out the alternatives. And above all, as always, stay strong and be free.